In the heart of the vast Nubian desert, where the sun beats down with an unforgiving glare and the sands stretch out like a golden ocean, lived a young boy named Hassan. Unlike the other children who spent their days chasing lizards or seeking shade, Hassan had a unique gift. He was a sand painter. The desert floor was his canvas, and his palette was an array of colored stones he'd gathered over the years. Deep reds from ancient rocks, bright whites from riverbeds long since dried, and rich blacks from volcanic remnants. With a patient hand and a focused heart, he would arrange these stones into intricate patterns, creating mesmerizing designs that danced under the sunlight. His art was a whisper to the land, a quiet conversation with the desert he called home. One year, the sky forgot how to weep. The sun grew hotter, the air drier, and the life-giving Nile seemed to shrink with every passing day. A severe drought gripped the land. The wells ran dry, the date palms withered, and the once fertile earth cracked open like a parched lip. The village elders, their faces etched with worry, gathered the people. With heavy hearts, they decided they must leave, seeking refuge closer to the river's more generous stretches, abandoning their homes to the encroaching emptiness. One by one, families packed their meager belongings and began the long, sorrowful trek, their footprints quickly erased by the restless wind. But Hassan stayed. He couldn't bear to leave the land that held his memories, the canvas that understood his soul. As he watched the last of his people disappear over the horizon, a profound loneliness settled upon him, as vast and silent as the desert itself. He was just a small boy in a world of shimmering, empty sand. Instead of despairing, however, an idea sparked within him, a grand, desperate, beautiful idea. He wouldn't just paint a small picture. He would create a masterpiece, a piece so large that even the heavens would have to take notice. He would paint a prayer. He began his work, his small figure a solitary speck against the immense landscape. His hands, usually so delicate in their placement of stones, now worked with a feverish energy. He hauled rocks and pebbles, his muscles aching, his skin burning under the relentless sun. He didn't just draw the patterns, he knew. He drew the very essence of what they had lost. He drew swirling lines that mimicked the flow of a mighty river, circles that represented full life-giving wells, and starbursts that bloomed like desert flowers after a generous rain. He drew symbols of clouds, heavy and pregnant with moisture, and zigzagging lines of lightning that promised a cleansing storm. Days turned into a week, and then another. Hassan worked from the first light of dawn until the stars blanketed the cool night sky. Serve on the few dried dates he had left and the stubborn hope that fueled his spirit. His single, small design grew and grew, spreading across the desert floor until it became a sprawling tapestry of color and hope, a massive, breathtaking message directed at the sky. It was a work of art born from faith, a testament to the belief that even in the most barren of places, beauty could create a miracle. Exhausted but finished, he lay down in the center of his creation, his prayer complete. As he slept, a gentle breeze began to stir. It whispered over the dunes, picking up the grains of sand that surrounded his masterpiece. This was no ordinary wind. It seemed to carry with it the essence of his art, the colors, the patterns, the very intention of his prayer. The wind gathered strength, spiraling upwards, carrying his message of faith and longing into the deep blue emptiness above. High in the heavens, the particles of his art coalesced, and something miraculous happened. A single, dark cloud began to form where there had been none. Then another, and another. The sky, once a merciless blue, turned a soft, promising gray. And then it began. A single drop of water fell onto Hassan's forehead, waking him. He looked up, his eyes wide with disbelief. Another drop fell, and then a cascade. The rain came down, not as a violent storm, but as a gentle, steady shower, kissing the thirsty land. It washed over his sand painting, the colors blurring and running together. His prayer answered and returned to the earth. The downpour continued for hours, soaking into the cracked ground, replenishing the wells, and breathing life back into the world. Soon, from the horizon, a line of figures appeared. It was his people. Drawn by the impossible news of rain, they returned to see their homes and their land reborn. They found Hassan, the boy who stayed, standing in the middle of the wet, glistening desert. His face turned towards the sky, smiling. His art was gone, washed away by the very miracle it had summoned. Craving that even in the deepest emptiness, the power of art and the strength of faith can make the heavens answer and bring a people home.